Good morning. This is Patricia K. Reyna, and I will be discussing employment documents from the Entrepreneur's Toolbox assignment ENT 630-50 class. This topic is number 15, Employee Handbook. This presentation will cover topic number 15, Employee Handbook, Employment Documents. The first document that we will discuss is Employment Eligibility Verification, Form I-9. We're going to be looking at an example of this document that you will be able to find online in print. It's actually a PDF. As we can see, this is Form I-9, Employment Eligibility Verification, Department of Homeland Security, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. The form is pretty much self-explanatory. It would be filled out by the employee all the way through, checking the boxes, signing, dating. And this is the important part here. There's an authorization part that has to be completed, and certain documentation must be attached. Now, here we have the list of the documentation. Employees may present one selection from List A or a combination of one selection from List B and one from List C. Again, that's either you have one of these documents from List A or you have to have a document from List B and List C. Now, this is important to remember because the employee must bring these in, and you must make copies of these to attach to this document, and making sure that you have one document from List A or one from List B and one from List C. And that's the I-9 form. I'm going to minimize that now. We're going to move ahead to the second employment document that would be necessary, a non-compete and non-disclosure agreement. What is a non-compete agreement? According to Gartner, 2017, a non-compete agreement is often attached to an employee contract. A non-compete agreement states that one party will not compete against another party. The following example of a non-compete agreement is from Maryland Law Blogger and can be found at the following link. This agreement says, employee hereby agrees that for a period of 1 year following the date of termination of this agreement for any reason, shall be prohibited from acting directly or indirectly as an owner, manager, operator, consultant, or employee of any business or business activity that is in the business of providing services similar to or competitive with company. Again, this is from Maryland Law Blogger and can be found at the following link. I'll also be talking about what is a non-disclosure agreement. According to Gartner 2017, a non-disclosure agreement is an agreement that limits or restricts the disclosing of confidential information. According to Gartner 2017, a non-disclosure agreement can also be referred to as a confidentiality agreement, a trade secret agreement. A non-compete and non-disclosure agreement can be combined in one. Seen below is an example. The complete 3-page agreement can be found at the following link. This mutual non-disclosure and non-compete agreement is made by and between, and so this is just an example. This happens to be a non-compete and a non-disclosure agreement in one. Again, you can find these at the following link. The next employment document we will discuss is Independent Contractor Agreement. What is an independent contractor? The following definition is quoted from businessdictionary.com. A self-employed person, architect, consultant, engineer, etc., who provides certain services to a second party called the principal or client or owner, or to a third party on behalf of the client. An independent contractor is not under the control, guidance, or influence of the client, and, unlike an employee, does not owe a fiduciary duty. The client neither deducts the payroll or the withholding taxes from payments to the independent contractor, nor contributes the employer's share. To be legally designated as an independent contractor, an individual must 1. Be free from the control of the client, 2. Be able to exercise his or her judgment as to the manner and methods to accomplish the end result, and 3. Be responsible for the end result only under the terms of the contract. The following is a sample form of an independent contractor agreement. This sample form can be found at the following link. As we can see, it begins with, this agreement is made between blank, which would be the client, with the principal place of business at blank and blank, contractor, with the principal place of business at blank. You would have independent contractors complete this agreement. We have services to be performed, payment, expenses, vehicles and equipment, independent contractor status, where they would select this, business licenses, permits, and certificates, the consideration of such here, state and federal taxes explanation, fringe benefits, unemployment compensation, workers' compensation, insurance, indemnification, the term of agreement where you would have a date, and how one would terminate the agreement, an exclusive agreement, modifying the agreement, resolving disputes, confidentiality, proprietary information, no partnership, assignment and delegation, applicable law, and then you would have signatures. So basically, it's a pretty comprehensive form that details a lot of specifics for your employees that may be independent contractors. The next document we will discuss is employment contract. Now for a sample of this, we're going to look at a PDF. The PDF was secured from this link. We have an employment agreement sample. As we see, it begins with this agreement made as of blank day of blank. This will be 2018. Between the name of the employer, a corporation incorporated under the laws of the province of Ontario. As you can see, this is a sample that you could use to create your own employment agreement. It begins with stating what the agreement is about. Then, number 1, employment. Number 2, position title. 3, compensation. 4, vacation. 5, benefits. 6, probation period if there is to be one. 7, performance reviews. 8, termination. 9, non-competition. And we've talked about this already, and this happens to be right in the midst of the employment sample application. Laws, independent legal advice, entire agreement, severability, and then your witness, and they'll be signed here. This is an example, as we can see, of an employment agreement. We shall move on to employment application. We will look at a sample of an employment application from the following link. Now, this application, as we can see here, is copyrighted 2017 moneyzine.com. Again, it can be found at this link. We will scroll down on this application. I will blow it up just a bit. It's a little bit. There we go. This is a sample job application. Again, you could take this sample and create your own. Number 1, position applied for. They would have to list their social security number, name, pertinent information as phone number and address. Education, work experience, job skills, licenses held, references, miscellaneous information, compliance, veteran status, prior convictions, work start date, job application certification, and then a place for a signature. Now again, this is just a sample. You could use this to create your own job application for your employees. Next, we will discuss employee information sheet. We're going to look at a basic employee information sheet at the following link. Now this is a basic employment information sheet. We have the employee information here, job information, emergency contact information, dependent information, and that's basically what's on this basic employment information sheet. From previous experience working at a public school, this part, the emergency contact information, is very helpful. If something happens to an employee on the job, you would need to know who to get in touch with. You might also consider having all of your employees fill out a basic medical information sheet, should they so wish to do so. If they have a medical emergency while at work, you would want to be able to give that information to EMS. This concludes the presentation on employment documents that you will need for hiring new employees. As you can see, these are the references that I used to create this presentation. Thank you for listening and have a great day.